Hey guys, it's Chris. Thanks for tuning in to another video. Today, instead of doing another motorcycle money flip, I figured I would show you one of the things that is easy to add value. Now, what we're going to do today is install an LED light kit on a motorcycle. Now, it's really not that hard. It can be done pretty simply, actually, but in anyone's defense, anything can be hard if you don't know what you're doing. So, first, what I want to do is I want to take you over here and I want to show you the type of lights that I like to use. Like I said, these particular lights, I like to use it for one reason, and it's because they are very easy to work with, very flexible. As you can tell, like I said, they got the sticky tape right on the back. It's always good when you can find the ones that have the M on them. A lot of times that's referring to 3M, and 3M adhesives is one of the best out there for sure. Pick these up on Amazon. They were about $10 for a set. Now this is a set of 4, so it's not a bad value at all. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to locate some of the spots on the bike, some places that you think might be good spots for lights. Now for me, I like to hide them right behind the tank, right here. You can stick them right to the back side of this tank right here. They disappear, and then the wire comes out right where you need it to. Some of the tools that you'll need to do this project are very simple, and I actually just grabbed some regular ones around the house just to show you that most people do have them, even though there's some different tools I like to use that are a little bit better when you're doing it on a regular basis. But tape, it's always important. Like I said, get a good tape so that way you can make all your connections and everything nice and watertight. You'll need a wire tool. This one's a bit beat up, but like I said, it's pretty cheap and inexpensive. You can pick it up at any hardware store for a few bucks, but it allows you to strip the wires nice and neat, and also allows you to crimp the connectors, which you'll need to crimp the connectors whenever you put the wires together. Obviously, you'll need some wire. I like to go ahead and get black wire just because it makes it easier to hide it. Obviously, you're going to hide all the wire that you can up under the tank, up under the seat, and up under the fender well. So if you can get black wire ahead of time, that's always good. It makes it a little bit easier to hide. And of course, I always like to have some scissors around so I can trim the wires to be the correct length that I want them to be nice and snug underneath. And then, of course, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. That way you can access the battery and be able to release the tabs. This side we do the same way. We just got the light stuck right underneath the tank right here, all the way down, and then the wires coming up under this bar along with the other ones right here, and then it comes out right here. So now you got 2 lights, 2 wires all underneath the seat. Obviously, the first thing you want to do before you get started is get that seat off so you have access to the battery, so that way you can get the wires ran in where you need them to. The next spot I like to use, most bikes have a stabilization bar in the back. And this bar usually is what holds up the rear fender. Now, as you can see, I like to tuck mine away right here underneath this bar. That way they go with that nice bar, and they give you some nice reflection back off the chrome pipes, off the chrome wheel at night, and also gives you some light from behind the bike that you can add on. Obviously, anytime you can add some protection is always good. Having extra lights is definitely protection, especially on this bike. Since I have the side-mounted tail light, I shaved off the other light to really expose that rear tire. So I got the side mount light. So these additional lights, once again on this side as well, underneath the stabilization bar for the rear fender. This will add a lot of extra light behind you and into the wheel area, obviously bouncing off this chrome as well to make it easier for people that are around you to see. Okay, once you get all of your lights placed, like I said, we placed that one under the tank here on both sides, the other one's underneath here. on either side. Now note, you can add as many lights as you want. I've just found this particular system works very well. It's inexpensive and it hits all the major spots to be able to get both sides of the tank and both sides of the rear fender, as it lights up the entire sides of the bike really well and the ground around the bike. So, but if you wanted to put one up front, things like that, just make sure you check with your laws around your city ordinances and things like that to make sure that if you're using certain colors that you're not utilizing them on the front or rear of the bike. But like I said, obviously if it's red, you can probably pretty much get away with it anywhere. If you're going to use other colors, I would definitely stick with the areas like I've shown up under the tank and under the fender wells. Those can be considered accent lights and should not mess with any traffic. Now, once you get all that ran, as you'll see, is I got my 2 wires here. I got from my light underneath, I ran the wire straight up through here. Boom, there's that wire. Excuse me. Same thing on the other side. That wire comes up through here. Boom. I'm going to connect these 2 wires here, so those are together. Then I'm going to take and add an additional wire, so that way I can run this wire together. Boom. I'm going to work it right back around over here to this battery, and then that way over here so I can hook it into my switch. Over here I'm going to do the same thing. I got my 2 wires coming off the tank. I'm going to bring those 2 together and then connect those, and then I'm going to run them to a switch that I pre-prepared on this bike over here. It's just a little toggle switch that I put on the bike. Now, you don't have to have anything special. Like I said, I like this one because it just kind of chromes in there and hides over there. But other ones that you can use that a lot of people like, that I've used on other ones, are things like this, which this one is really nice because once this one is installed and on, you add an additional ground wire, and then you get this nice glowing light to show you where that is. Now, something like this can hide very easily. Like I said, you can quickly, sometimes I just wedge them in here, so that way it's wedged in between the frame and the bike. And so that way you have a nice easy spot to access from under the seat, because once the seat is on, this will be pretty well covered. Other people can do like I did, go ahead and pilot a hole in the fender here, or like I did on the other side, pilot the hole in the fender there and the side fender, and then just drill it through. And so that way you can have it mounted right into the fender. The wires run nicely right up here so you can access them. And then that way when you're riding, you can click and click it. Now normally I like to have them on the left side. On this one I did it on the right side mainly because I wasn't paying attention, but normally I like them on the left side. If they're on the left side, it's easier to access with your free hand. That's the left hand, because when you're riding most of the time, you've got your hand on the gas, so your right hand is already tied up, so you really don't want to let off that because your gas is right over there as well as your brake. On this one, when you're riding, you can reach down, just like if you were in a situation when you needed to turn the key off. Having a switch right there is a safe spot. Also, you'll notice factory choke is here, keys here. The factory thinks that your left hand is going to be your accessible hand, so gas hand is always right. Left hand is going to be your access hand. So normally I would want to put it on this side. Like I said, for this project, I put it on that side, honestly just not paying attention. But like I said, normally you'd want to put it on the left side, so that's easy accessible. Okay, just a quick rundown where we're at. We got the lights mounted under here, which is one of these lights here with the 2-sided tape on the back. So you just peel this tape off, stick it behind here. Be sure to clean this real good before you stick it back there, so you're sticking to some really good metal, so it'll stick nice. Run it through here. Here's your wire coming out here for this side. Do the same thing for the other side. Bring that wire right here. Back fenders, I like to mount mine under here. Once again, clean beforehand. That wire comes right up underneath here, connects to this. This is where I've got the wires coming together here. Same thing on the other side, right here, wires together. Then I'm running this wire from the back lights up here to meet with the 2 front lights. So here's the 2 front lights, either side of the tank. Here's the back lights came in. Now they're all wired together. And from there, I run 1 solid ground. You see I grounded it. I actually found a bolt right here to hook it to. A lot of bikes have them there. If not, you can actually just go ahead and run it right to the battery. But either way, you get a good ground. And then the other one, we run this way. We run the hot wire. I didn't have an actual fuse today, so I just hooked up two fuses to this. Two lines to this fuse. Works the same way. It'll be under the seat, so it shouldn't be any problem. But it's always good to have a fuse in line. Make sure you have one of those, and then that's going to run directly to the battery, which you can see here. Mounted that right to the battery. So once you get all that done, you'll have all your lights. So let me get the seat back on it. Like I said, actually before you put the seat on it, always test your switch. Test it, make sure you see your lights coming on. I'm seeing the lights coming on and off with the switch. Give you a chance to check all your lights as well so you can kind of see. Never hurts to double check things. But let me get everything back together and we'll check out how these lights came out. Okay, so to uninstall the seat for most bikes is pretty much the same. There's a few others that'll add a couple extra bolts, but most of them, you just have one bolt in the back that holds it down. It's a 10mm bolt, or 10mm head, so get you a 10mm socket to remove it. I like to use like a wrench like this, so that way I can get in, get leverage on the seat without the ratchet possibly tearing up the seat. But once you get that bolt out, you grab to this strap and then you pull back. And as you'll see, there's a shoe horn. So there's a horn there. Insert that there. So reinstalls the same way. Put that back up and make sure it's snug, so that way it's nice and firm there. Line this bolt back up. Firm there. Put this bolt back in here. There you go, get it lined up. Use your socket wrench. Get it nice and tightened down. Nice and snug. That's why this is good, so you don't tear up the seat. That's good and snug. That's good and snug. Now your seat is ready to go. And like I said, this is most seats. So there's an extra tip for you in this video. And as you can tell, the finished product does not look bad at all. I'm showing it with all the lights with the headlight on right now. But you can see it brings a lot of light to the bike, especially around the engine bay, around the back of the bike, which is always good. Those added lights on the back of that bike definitely help pair up with that. And then of course the extra lights over here just help with the overall look of the bike, giving it that full neon look under here. So there it is, guys. Thanks for checking out my video. Hope you got some good information out of this and are able to add a little extra value to your bike with a little extra time and energy and a little bit of money.
Hey guys, it's Chris. I hope you enjoyed watching my video and seeing more money for motorcycles. Be sure to subscribe below and see more videos like this.